taking your idea and building it into a business. Entrepreneurship is a viable, risk-taking adventure that many have chosen. There is no guarantee of success. In fact, some argue that failure is more of a constant when taking this journey. Today's entrepreneurs have much at stake with many hurdles ahead. But as we've seen, that just doesn't matter.
Partners got together. Whose idea was this?
Well, actually, I was working for an institutional investment company, and one of my clients, he lived in a condo building in Mission. I lived in a condo building in Mission as well, and we were both kind of noting that there wasn't a service that was equivalent to what single-family residents received commingled recycling for their homes. And so through that conversation, we just sort of started exploring the idea, could there be an opportunity to start a company to fill that gap that we perceived in the market? So it really started from that, just us seeing that there might have been a market opportunity.
Huh, they go from 9 to 5 to doing this. You gave up something very, very constant. Every 2 weeks you get a paycheck. You don't have the hassles of being on the phone with, trying to figure out the world. You decided to go the entrepreneurial route. Is this something that was in you before you started this company?
Yeah, I think so. For both the guy I founded the company with, he and I were both in the same position. We both kind of felt maybe that the careers we were in weren't aligned with our own values. Some of the things that were happening in the investment industry, I'm sure everyone remembers 2008 and 2009 sure. in that industry. And so I was looking for a change, as was he, and then we saw this opportunity. We're both environmentally conscious people, and so it suited that as well. And so we got to form a company that was a little bit more what we were looking for.
So back to the Young Entrepreneur Awards, how did it work? How did you guys get involved in that, and then how did you become a finalist?
So what you do is it's by submission. So you select a project that your business is working on, and you submit that through the BDC website at bdcyoungentrepreneuraward.ca. And what it is you're proposing to a group of panelists a project that you think could be beneficial for your business. Then they select a finalist based on all the project submissions from each province. And I was lucky to be the finalist last year for Alberta.
Was it difficult, because Calgary has a lot of entrepreneurs compared to maybe some of the other areas in the country? Was it very competitive in our city?
They don't tell you exactly how many people apply for the award. I was one of the runner-up. I was among the runners-up the previous year, so in 2013. So I'm not exactly sure how many people in Alberta make submissions, but across the country there were a lot of other good companies. The company that won out of Ontario had a great idea, as were some of the others on the list.
BDC has been a proud partner of this resurgence, or maybe not resurgence, but support of entrepreneurs. They must have been giving you a lot of direction, or was it just let us know and we'll give you an award if you win?
Yeah, they have to be very impartial in the whole process. We do work with BDC, my company, for some of our capital needs, so they're a good partner of ours anyways, but through the application process, they support you in terms of understanding some of the things like your video submission and those types of things, and you work with somebody who helps you with your marketing campaign. Right. But BDC itself has to play a bit of a sideline role.
You two can probably relate to this. Here's a guy who wants to be an entrepreneur. He wants to go on his own. It's not easy.
No, it's not. And I think even now, I have my own business as a registered dietitian, but I actually still work part-time. So having that confidence to make that jump from the 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur full-time is definitely a tough one. Getting
that support, even marketing support that he's getting from BDC, is invaluable. But there are other outlets out there for a young entrepreneur like Devin to get that support from somebody, for example, like yourself, Amanda.
That's actually how my business spun out. There was just a number of small businesses who needed small-scale support that a lot of the bigger agencies in the city just couldn't support, and so they were coming to me saying, hey, can you do this? Can you help with this website? Can you help me create a logo? Can you help me on social media? And that's kind of how the Marketing Girls spun out. Precisely, just mainly guidance. They don't have the internal resources themselves, so they need someone who has the experience. And
we're seeing a lot more people helping smaller businesses, right? We're seeing a lot more business develop out of that.
Calgary has a beautiful entrepreneurial community where people are really trying to help one another and small businesses are trying to piggyback off of each other and compete up in some of the bigger markets. It's a really supportive community. It's great.
The awards that are being given out, when is the deadline? You already have to have submissions in, correct?
No, so we're in the submission period right
Okay.
now, and I believe you have to have the submission in by March 18th.
Okay. And once you, and who can submit? I mean, if Kate and I have an idea to run a little business, there has to be some criteria before we can actually do that.
Yeah, and so there's an evaluation process that goes on
Okay.
before the voting period and before the finalist is selected. If you have a business right now and your business is at a point or a stage where you could use some capital to help you execute on a project, that's really what they're looking for. So if you have an innovative idea that's going to launch your business in a new direction or just help your business grow on what it's doing already, that's really what they're looking for.
How's your company doing?
Yeah, well, right now, of course, the
Good
city
stuff.
has recently implemented a bylaw that becomes enforced in February of next year that mandates recycling for multifamily residences, which is the market. We're among the largest players in that market. For commingled recycling, which is the no sorting recycling, we're the largest player. So
Good for you,
that's
Devin.
certainly driving business for us.
Great stuff. Devin Goss, 2014 Young Entrepreneur Awards finalist. And the submissions, you have to get them in by March 18th for part of the application process. Great to have you on set this morning. Thank you, sir.